In this video, I'm going to go over all of the essential project settings inside of Webflow before handing over a website to a client. And they are very important in terms of SEO, page performance, as well as ease of use for the client once the website has been handed over. So I would say let's dive right in the General tab. First thing is the name. This should just be a descriptive name which shows up inside of your or your client's workspace. Then we have our first important setting, which is the favicon as well as the web clip. I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to create those. There are great resources out there, and you can easily create them inside of a software as Figma, Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, or even in Canva. But they are very important for SEO. This is the small icon that shows up on the top of the browser or on the Google search results. So really important to set both of them here, especially the favicon. Then next up, we need to choose the current time zone right here. This is important for our CMS items, for our dynamic items, and we definitely need to enter the correct language code here. Next up, we don't need everything from here, but we want to disable both of those Webflow branding options here. Sorry Webflow, but we don't need branding of Webflow on our client's website, so I can definitely turn both of them off. And always click on the little save button. Next up, we can skip site access, or we can go into publishing, and here under production we would add our domain or our domains. Then if the client has had a previous website, we definitely want to set up our redirects here. Once again, there are tons of great resources on how to set those up easily inside of Webflow. So if the client has had a previous website, definitely include those. It's really important for our SEO. And then we have our advanced publishing options, and we want to turn on the SSL certificate, and we want to minify the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript. All of those are super important for our page speed, for our page performance, and it will just help our website to load faster, which is great for SEO. So definitely turn all of those 4 first options on. Next up, we can skip the billing tab, we can skip the plans, but we have some very interesting settings inside of the SEO panel. The first thing is that I always recommend to turn off the Webflow subdomain indexing. This is because we don't want our website or our staging website, the one with the webflow.io, to be indexed to search engines. There's absolutely no reason for that, so we want to turn this one off. The next one is the sitemap, and of course you can upload your custom sitemap, but for 99% of the use cases, I recommend to activate the auto generation of the sitemap. That way, Webflow automatically creates and updates the sitemap. Of course, we still have to submit the sitemap to our Google Search Console once we have turned this feature on. Once again, even Webflow themselves uploaded a great tutorial on YouTube on how to submit your sitemap to Google Search Console. So we want to turn the auto generation on. Once again, click on save. Then when you submit it to Google Search Console, we will have to paste this a little ID inside of here as well. And then we have the global canonical URL. For this one, it's a SEO best practice to paste your base URL inside of here, and make sure to include the HTTPS as well as the www version of your domain, and set the www inside of the publishing tab under the domains as your default domain. Now this is just a small SEO best practice that helps with preventing search engines from indexing duplicate URLs, and yeah, just a small SEO best practice. Once again, click on save. Then next up we got the forms tab. Inside of here, for the sender name, usually I just say something like contact for our website. Here we want to enter the client's email or multiple emails if they want to send form submissions to different departments, for example. And for the subject line, I always say something like new form submission via your website and a little party emoji, so they have a little dopamine boost whenever they get the form submission. And besides that, we can leave everything as is. Spam filtering is great. And once again, hit the save button. For libraries, we don't need anything. Inside of the fonts tab, once we have built out the website and set everything up, just make sure to delete all of the different fonts and font weights that we aren't using. That way we can decrease the loading speed of the website as well. And we don't need the backup tab, we don't need this tab, and we don't need everything in the custom code tab. So those are the different project settings which I set up for every single client project I complete inside of Webflow. I hope you found this helpful, and I wish you all the best and have a good one. Bye bye.